What's going on, YouTube? So the Giants traded Kadarius Toney, and we got a third-round pick and a sixth-round pick. Uh, he was a first-round pick. That pick ended up being due to us trading with Chicago for Justin Fields. Our original pick was to get Devontae Smith, and Philadelphia picked him up, and so they missed out on Michael Parsons because they were done with that pick, and so they felt they needed a wide receiver for Daniel Jones, and he was an exciting player last year, but he tends to be always hurt. Now they're saying that he wasn't gelling with the whole team, so they kept him and basically just like benched him, and decided to trade with the Chiefs. We'll see if he plays right away with the Chiefs, and if it was an injury or not. If he doesn't play right away, then it was still the injury. He is an aspiring rapper. I believe he's released a couple albums. So, good luck with, doing that as well. Wish him the best. I wish it would have been with the Giants. Was very excited to see him this year, but didn't know there was more behind, this behind the scenes type things. And, there's nothing we can do but move on. And so I make this video because not to say that no other team is in it like that, but some teams are a little bit desperate at times. But they don't put up with nonsense, and so they did that with Odell. They're basically saying we don't put up with that style, and that's why I never even thought of Odell coming to the Giants, because even though he won a Super Bowl, he still is Odell. He ain't changed. He's still Odell. Yeah, he's been humbled a little bit, but at the end of the day, he's still Odell. Kanye, example, will always be Kanye. He's known as Ye now, but never changed. He's always shown who he is. So same goes with Odell and Kadarius Toney. They are who they are, and they're not going to change. So the Chiefs saying, we're willing to sacrifice, we're a better team than the Giants, which clearly they are, and we'll just, collect those pieces and hope that he helps us win another Super Bowl. So that's why, I'm happy that if he does win or whatever with the Chiefs, he got drafted by the Giants. The Giants knew that he was going to be good, but it just didn't work out with us. Same way Odell won with the Rams, just didn't win with us. Sucks that we keep drafting wide receivers possibly. Again, he hasn't won, and they win Super Bowls. I'm just hypothetically saying it. But, I look back on the draft and see what other wide receivers we missed out. The one, actually two, I believe it was the DeAndre Baker draft, where we had 3 first-round draft picks, and we went defense heavy. And I believe, I'm trying to remember, I think it was all defense. Anyway, they left key wide receivers on the board. The one that I was excited to possibly get, didn't get him, was DJ Metcalf. I wanted him to be a Giant, but they were building with more of a defensive thing, and you got to protect your quarterback. If you got a young quarterback, you got to keep giving him more linemen. And even though they drafted Saquon and they drafted Will Hernandez, he's not with us, and nobody longevity as far as like what I believe is going to be a great left tackle in Andrew Thomas, possibly Hall of Fame if he keeps going in this way. We got a Hall of Fame lineman. Saquon will be a Hall of Famer if he stays a Giant, which, the Giants will probably re-sign him. that's going to be key, and they're going to have to what is looking like franchise tag Daniel Jones and then give him another contract. So that too, they freed up a little bit of money from getting rid of Kadarius Toney. So that helps him out. And as far as having the explosive player that Kadarius Toney would have been on the field, we had that basically in Saquon. Saquon can do that. And he's tough as nails. His shoulder's messed up, and he's still out there playing. Reminiscent of 1993? I think it's 93. 93, Emmitt Smith. I think it was the 93 year. 93 into 94. I think they wanted 94. He had a bum shoulder. He played against the Giants, and he whooped our butt with that shoulder. So, shout out to Saquon for, toughing through it. And Daniel Jones, too. That one game where his ankle was messed up, and he played through it, and now he's kind of like back to where he was before. And luckily, we've been getting over these injuries. There's other players that have been out for a couple weeks. You got Daniel Bellinger, our tight end, got jammed up in his eye. He needed eye surgery. So I'm like, man, so he'll be out a couple weeks. He's been a good addition as a rookie. So the only good thing is he'll be a little fresh. Hopefully, he can still move around. I don't know about his healing, how long it's going to take. But, you can still, I guess, go look at film and all this stuff and still be around the team as you heal, because there's nothing more that you can do. You can still lift and all this stuff. I don't know, maybe he can't strain. So, yeah, I don't know. But I guess he'll get as many days as he can't strain. I don't know. That's tough. As much as I want him to get back soon, but it is what it is. There's nothing you can do. As the head coaches, they're the ones with the ultimate stress balls in their stomach, sleeping on it, thinking about, man, we need this guy back. But Giants are unicorn team this year. Normally, a lot of teams, when they lose players and somebody else fills in, they're not doing their job. It's basically a downgrade, and you see it on the field. Similar to like last year, as an example, I would say when Daniel Jones went down, you had this guy Fromm as a backup. Horrible. I actually couldn't watch it towards the end. It was just complete horror show, and you could tell the quality of when you got a backup that is atrocious to when you got a starter that's still not a franchise quarterback, but you could say, okay, he is at least a starter in Daniel Jones. This year, he's basically showing, yes, the years have passed, and I got what I need, and especially the coaching and the whole team rally around him, and just overcoming adversity. I can't even say that word. As far as injuries and all this stuff, and especially at the wide receiver, because again, this video is about Kadarius Toney and him not being there, and Daniel Jones stepping up. His numbers are not what your typical MVP season is, but the way he's playing and winning, especially winning the game at the end, is MVP caliber quarterback. There's a lot of guys that can't handle that, and that just goes to show, being in the New York media, there's like a thick skin, and he's very like I don't know, I would just use the escape word, very robotic-ish, because his answers are very like what the coaches preach, and that's what they all say. They want to know every week. They always say the same things about looking forward to whoever they're playing this week. They never look ahead. Always like how he talks, and about his teammates and everything, how he answers the questions. Again, not your typical MVP candidate, but he does give me the MVP vibes, because to be honest, MVP really is like blown away, like it'll blow you away as far as the league. It's the whole league, and the numbers are not crazy. But what does count is the wins. The wins is the most important thing. And he is there is no stat for game-winning drives, at the way he's going, because it's a team game, and the style of play, how they do, is a bend but don't break. They always come out with a turnover when it's very needed. And even though we haven't been having the sacks that we want, switching sides on defense and getting sacked by Kayvon Thibodeau, he has been pressuring. He has been chasing down tackles. He called Etienne Jr. from Jacksonville. He ran him down from behind. Similar video is out there of Justin Tuck and Lawrence Taylor just tackle him in a very similar fashion. So what the other two have in common is that they were NFL champions. So that gives me a little hope. I wouldn't say, oh yes, I'm going to use that and say, yeah, we're destined to win another title, because again, everything has to fall in place. My man has to stay healthy. He got injured in preseason, and from what I was hearing is that he was looking way better before his injury. So he is still trying to, week by week, we'll try to get back there. And from what, there was an interview when he was being, before he was drafted, Brian Dable, Thibodeau was there, and they asked him about like a sack, and then he actually got his one sack, and he was crying in strip sack against Lamar Jackson, and that is an epic way to get your first sack, and just kind of shows the trajectory of your path to being an NFL great. And so in there they were talking about certain game, but all I know is that the sixth game, so this will be his sixth game, because he missed the first two games technically, even though it's week 8. Technically this is his sixth game, and he just might break out and get like 3-4 sacks this week. And then the talk of Kadarius Toney and the trade that they did, and how Thibodeau's been doing okay, but not looking like NFL Rookie of the Year MVP candidate for defense. Did I say MVP? No, it's just Rookie of the Year. What the hell's wrong with me? Driving. I'm trying to drive the thing, which I've been doing pretty good. So yeah, Rookie of the Year on defense candidate, and saying 3-4 as far as that conversation that they had, that would be great, but just getting 1, possibly 2 is just the same. But if he breaks out, I wouldn't be surprised, and that'd be crazy that it would be the same it's basically the same conversation that they talked about. Just crazy. So as long as they do what is needed to win another game, that's all I care about. I watch the Giants because I want to watch them win. That's it. We've been pretty bad the last half decade, too. You can say the whole decade we've been like missing. We had one time we made the playoffs, and then our receivers let us down. That was possibly our best chance at winning the Super Bowl. The way the Giants just, I don't know, they formed like Avengers, and then they were gonna win it. But the key veteran receiver, I remember, wouldn't say that this is why, but it's a possibility. That year when Odell came into the league, you had Victor Cruz, still the veteran wide receiver, and he went down. He came back, and I believe he went down again. So he still wasn't his same when he was like Victor Cruz coming into the league, winning the championship and everything. That was a big thing that hurt him as far as his career. But anyway, what I want to say is he wasn't there to help, flow the wide receivers, especially get on Odell and, lead by example. So Odell did his thing, and, he is a great player. he's still going to be him, but it could have been a little bit less of what he became if Victor never got hurt, is what I'm saying. And being in the on the team, you know, it just sped things up, is all I would say. Because again, Odell was going to be Odell eventually, and yeah. Hopefully we get this win against Seattle, and we could be 7-1 going into the bye week. And we still got some tough games to finish out the year. We got Philadelphia twice. We got Minnesota once. We got Dallas one more time at Dallas, so that's going to be a very tough game on Thanksgiving. It's not a primetime game, but it basically is in the eyes of the world. But for whatever reason, Daniel Jones is winless when playing at 8 o'clock prime time. So that's where I give the favor to the Giants winning and him winning, because you know, when you're playing great and your team's like there, you just got a good chance. So I see as we got a good chance at beating them. I haven't seen anything really against Minnesota. No footage or anything. Philadelphia's a tough team. You know, they're ranked 1 or 2, depending on the week, in the league, to as much as 3. You know, because you got Buffalo, Philadelphia, and the Chiefs as the top spot. And you have us, Minnesota, with like 1 loss as well, hanging around the other spots. So with us beating Seattle, if we do, that'll give us another more of evaluation around the league, and to show how good of a team we are, even though we're missing 2 starting linemen, and how we move pieces around. When one man falls down, the other man picks it back up. So especially at the wide receiver and offensive defense, there's been pieces where, you know, guys have gone down and then another guy comes back. No season-ending injuries. The one that could be trending towards it is Brian Bellinger. I don't know how many weeks he could be out, but you got to give him time. And man, he's been blocking good, catching balls. You know, he fills the void of what I remember a good rookie class that helped Eli. Was the year that we beat the Patriots for the perfect season. They became that one giant loss, and we had Ahmad Bradshaw, Kevin Boss. I remember, I'm trying to think, was it Steve Smith? We had a good couple rookies on there. So it just gives me the same thing, same kind of vibe. We got Wan'Dale Robinson. We got Evan Neal, which is hurt. He's been playing decent. He's learned from his mistakes. You know, you got to give him slack, even though Daniel does take sacks, but he hasn't been fumbling like past years. And Kayvon been pressuring quarterbacks into making bad throws, and you know, he hasn't been sackless. So the numbers don't really show, but he has been wrecking havoc in offensive linemen's plans. And then we got Dexter Lawrence getting home and sacking the quarterback. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's a team sport and it's a collective thing. So one gets home, they all get home. But you know, there's no better feeling than you getting home. So, but yeah, this is a long enough video. I just wanted to express my feelings on the Kadarius Toney trade and other things, and about how the Giants. Normally, I don't talk about future games, but like, you know, we are gonna have a bye week, so then it gives you like a chance to actually look, because you're just like gonna not be watching football of your team for a week, so you're gonna like sneak peek and say, oh, who are we playing? Because I've been pretty focused on who we play, and that all I care about is beating Seattle, Geno Smith, and he could do a little things of like what Daniel Jones does. So he's been playing Daniel Jones style. So we got our hands full, and I don't know if DJ Metcalf is going to be playing, but it doesn't matter. Again, a good quarterback will overcome missing receivers, and I'm glad that basically Darius Slayton got the okay, as far as like trading Kadarius Toney, and they're saying, look, you were in the doghouse, you were in the practice squad, you were elevated, you have proven, you have been clutch when we needed you, and even though probably he was dropping a lot of balls, he's been putting in the time, showing it in practice, and that's basically the most important thing that you could show the coaches. Sometimes the defenders are doing their job, and there's nothing you can do but hope that when the ball is bouncing around, possibly on your hands, you gotta pull it in and do what is needed and get that catch or catch touchdown, which he did against Jaguars, which was very nice. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up, and yeah, that's it. Hopefully, like I said, we get this win, 7-1. Go Big Blue, go G-Men, go Giants. You already know.